How do you think Brodie Croft looked today?
Thought he looked like Brodie Croft, but in a better coloured jersey.
Leeds have won back-to-back rugby league titles. The golden generation finally has its golden fleece. No England game, it seems, is complete without a Ryan Hall try. Jamie Peacock.
Kevin Sinfield.
Rob Burrow.
Jamie Jones Buchanan for Leeds.
It's one of the most popular beards in rugby league.
There aren't many in Super League that can do that.
We just want to be a great friend, and if we can all try and be a bit of a better friend from time to time, I think we have a bit of a better place to live in.
The Lot Pod is kindly sponsored by Fast Signs. Fast Signs are an established family-run business who've been providing businesses around Leeds and West Yorkshire with effective signs and graphics for almost 30 years. Fast Signs are passionate about helping customers make a statement with signs that are eye-catching, effective and delivered fast. Hi everybody, welcome to the Lot Pod. The Leeds Rhinos Lot 17-8 podcast, kindly sponsored by Fast Signs. It's match review panel time. I'm your host, Eddie. Now time for the match review panel for Leigh Leopards versus Leeds Rhinos. Joining me as always, my right-hand man on my right, my co-host, but our amazing stats man, Statman Reese.
I'm a stat man.
Reese.
Good evening.
A little bit for the yes. Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, it's been a pretty awesome couple of days. Great gig on Thursday night in Manchester. Went to go see a band called Giant Rooks.
No one's ever heard of them. Carry on.
Yeah, that's why I'm mentioning them, so people can go listen to them. You know, double win on Friday night with Leeds Rhinos and Leeds United. Saints lost. Some great Six Nations this afternoon. It's just been a belt of a weekend.
Stats were saying, Andrew, IFC Stats were saying, first time since 2016.
Yeah.
That United and Rhinos
have won on the same day.
And
it was 8 years before that as well.
And it was United Chef Wednesday.
Was it?
And it was 2-0.
Wow. But yeah, it happens every 8 years now, because apparently the time before that was 8 years before
like
that.
Like an eclipse.
Well. Yeah. So, no, everything is all going swimmingly this weekend, which is lovely.
Amazing. How was Leigh?
Leigh was cold. Really, really.
But you never ever wrap up.
No,
you pretend you're always warm.
I had a hat
you
on.
are.
I had a beanie on.
And a vest. A string vest.
Nothing else.
A string vest and a smile.
But it was really, really cold. And top tip, if you're ever going to Leigh, the parking is a fucking nightmare. Sorry, Harry. It's an absolute nightmare. It takes you hours to get out of that bloody car park. So just don't park near the stadium. Go somewhere else. But then again, that's a risk in itself. But yeah, no, it was a good trip in the end.
Did you get home quicker than Hull?
Yes, I did.
So what time did you get in?
About half past 11, I think.
That's not bad. Like an hour. Right. That's like an hour.
It was an hour and 10 minutes.
But from Hull, you got home at...
Yeah, I got home about half past midnight.
Yeah,
but you got to remember where
Hull's a nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to remember anywhere I live. I live, every game's at least an hour away. So even Headingley.
Hull's miles away, to be fair. Even the studio that we're recording in. Now.
Yeah.
You may have heard him. Who's with us? Who's with us tonight?
Producer Chris is on the other side of the wall this evening. Who was scheduled as a guest. Chris, are you nervous that this might not be recording?
Yeah, I can't check it.
Just for context, Chris is normally on the other side of that wall, shouting in our ears, producing when doing this, so we have no idea if this is not recording or not.
We might have a podcast this week. We might not. On to the positives and true Lot Pod style. The second half, agreed. Massive positive.
Well, I wrote down my positive as Andy Simpson messaged me saying, "What did you think at half time?" And my genuine thought at half time was, "What positive could I say from this?" Like, so my positive is there was actually a positive. There is a positive to talk about, and there's loads of positives to talk about.
I've got a positive, two positives. I thought
I've got a whole list, but that was my main one.
Yeah, but not in the first half. I thought Mikulegski
Beast mode.
He was the only player that over 80 minutes was
Absolute.
consistently good.
And
Beast mode.
Miller.
Yeah, Lucky Miller.
He did some good stuff in that first half.
But really lively.
But not many positives, were there?
In true Lot Pub fashion, let's just forget the first half. If it happened.
I think the only thing I want to say about that first half an hour, or first 40 minutes, was actually, to be fair, the first 5-10 minutes we looked all right, and we actually looked like we were going to come on top. And then Leigh, I have to give credit where credit's due. Lee's attack was brilliant.
Do we have to?
No, that's literally all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. They deserved to be 16-0 up at half time.
60, I thought you said.
16.
They won't been happy with that. Ash Hanley, awesome. Another positive.
Oh, he's just... I was thinking about this earlier, actually. It is because the whole left edge was sublime in that second half.
I think that left edge gets better and better game on game.
Yeah, and I think Rowan might have said something. Go down that left edge, because we didn't really do it in first half.
No.
And they were quite inexperienced, weren't they?
Yeah, Hanley on that side.
Yeah, because Hardaker was on the other side. No, Hardaker was,
Hardaker
was on that side, wasn't he? But Hanley was on that side, wasn't he?
Hardaker's not a good centre.
But I thought, Ash Hanley gets 2 tries. I've no idea why Momorowski passed him that first one. I wonder if
because he's the nicest bloke on the planet, that's why, yeah.
Oh, look at it going, what are you doing?
Part of me wonders if, because there's football lines on the pitch as well, whether he's falling, he's losing his balance, he was just getting confused, or he's just a nice guy and gave it to. Because if you listen to the behind the scenes bit, Ash is a bit where Ash goes, I was celebrating, like why was, and then Mom's passing it to me.
Knocked it on.
The only reason I can possibly think is because he was stumbling, wasn't he?
That's what.
So maybe he thought, I'm falling over here, I'll give it to Ash who'll make it a conversion easier.
Yeah.
And he didn't.
No,
he just run it in and put it down.
He didn't. And to be honest, he only just touched the grass, did Ash Hanley
Well,
as well with the
I
ball.
think we were in two minds whether not to put it down or...
Yeah.
But when Martin missed the kick, they were a close-up on Ash and he were like, fucking hell.
Yeah, I could have...
Yeah, he knew
couple of feet.
He knew he'd balls up.
Yeah.
On Momorowski, one of you two said, I think it might have been you, Chris, that he would put on more tries.
That was me.
Was that you, sorry?
Yeah.
It might have been you,
he'll lay on more
Reece,
tries for
then he'll
Ash
score.
Hanley than he'll score.
Well, yeah, but I didn't expect him to lay down.
Clearly he listened, didn't he, to the pod, so I've got to prove Reece right for that.
I think he's just a proper winger's centre, isn't he?
Absolutely.
So his instinct is probably get the winger away.
Yeah. That's it.
But I don't know whether you're noticing they are switching between centre and wing.
They are. I noticed that.
We said this last week, and we said this on the tries, but on the long distance tries, Ash Hanley's always been one step in, and it's almost like, well, from D, give it to Ash first, and
Mommy will support him and take a man away.
And what goes underrated is Mommy support lines. You know, for the game winning try where Reece goes through. I mean, to be honest, Reece should probably give it to Mom because actually when he gave it to Croft, there was a man inside. But in that try, the best thing that he does when the ball goes right, he immediately doesn't walk and just go, oh, the ball's gone, it's nothing to do with me now. He gets straight back into line and Croft swings it back.
They picked up on that on Sky. Yeah. But he knew exactly what was going on, didn't he? And he's like, I've got to get back here.
Yeah. So if you look at most of the tries that Ash has scored, Mom is involved, not necessarily with the ball in hand, but in some way making the defender make a decision.
I have seen a few people give him a bit of stick, and I'm like,
Mommy.
I don't know what you're expecting of him because he's not Nenny MacDonald.
No, it's miles better.
Well, I think he is because
we've got Harry Newman for that.
He's a proper centre with a rugby brain. So everything he's doing, his defence is outstanding as well. I think he'll get better. He might even score a try.
He might. He might get to the try line.
I really hope he doesn't. I really hope he just stands on the try line.
Be like, I need someone to pass to.
I really hope he just stands on the try line and just waits for Ash to come back.
Yeah, they just chucked it to someone else.
Because I've got on my trajectory at the moment, Ash Hanley's on for 47 tries now this season. So Momorowski's going to have to give him some more.
My prediction was so wrong.
I know.
Sorry, I only said 35.
7 tries in 4 games, Ash, and that was where you started.
He only scored 11 last year.
Yeah.
Last year, yeah.
I mean, it's Hanley is. I think Hanley is. You asked me last week. Are we seeing peak Hanley? I think we are, but he is also benefiting from a left edge that is far better, he is getting presented with far better opportunities.
Well, this is the best centre he's played with.
Yeah, and you can see them communicating.
Loads.
They know exactly what they're doing, but it gets missed, doesn't it? People just probably look at him and go, "Well, he's not making loads of meters like McDonald did." But he's not that kind of player.
No,
he's not. But I think Ash yesterday, his tries have been getting the highlights. Yesterday he just finished tries and he gets 2 on them.
Classic wingers play.
But his biggest impact was the try-saving tackle at the start of the second half. I was with Phil, friend of the pod, not like a player, he's just a regular guest. I made him sound like a player then, didn't I? And I was saying the next try was really important, and Rugby League last night proved how much of a momentum game it is and how scary once you get that momentum going, how hard it is to stop. And that momentum started with Ash making that try-saving tackle. And that was his biggest contribution for me, because if that try gets scored, that could have been the game gone there.
Defence changes games.
Absolutely.
We mentioned it last week about the Croft hit and the Cam hit, how we're soaking up all that pressure, and just those hits, you go down, obviously end up field and score. So you're out on that. A couple more positives. Reece Martin.
We've said it before. It's just standard, isn't it?
Nah, it wasn't standard. Reece Martin's standard is a good game. That was an exceptional Reece Martin.
He did miss a kick.
Yeah, he did.
And that was Ash's fault.
That was Ash's fault.
Yeah, we're outstanding. I haven't got a clue how he didn't get the Sky Man at match.
No.
It was him that was causing all those problems down that left-hand side, really. I mean, you look at the third try, wasn't it? Oh, no, sorry, he scored that try. It was absolutely well taken, a lovely spin and a perfect reach out to the line. And then it was his kick that set up Ash Hanley's first, and it was his dummy that set up Ash Hanley.
He has done that quite a lot through his
second time this year. Second time this year,
he does create stuff, and I've seen him score tries like that before. Yeah. I think what I mean by standard is people underrate him because he's that
massively,
good.
Yeah. He's
so good. He's boring.
His consistently good. His consistent standard is very good. So when he has a very good game, that's just Reece Martin. But I think he went a level above in that second half.
Yeah. I mean, we won't talk man of match, but I don't know how Sky didn't pick him. I think just because Ash scored 2 tries.
Again, yeah.
But they shouldn't have scored 1. So.
No, Momorovsky should have scored 1. And one more positive quickly, Aledzki back. Amazing to see Mick back.
He's in his top form, and he's in 2020.
Like he hasn't missed a game.
Top form. Coming back from an injury, I mean, you didn't see that from him last year, where he came back from injury. We just didn't see this version of Aledzki.
I didn't see him get dominated once.
No,
he went through the tackle constantly, which means a quick play of the ball. But I thought Tommy Holroyd was good yesterday.
Yeah, looked solid.
It's interesting in Holroyd. He doesn't tend to make the meters as Holroyd, actually, when you look at the numbers. But what I think he does, it's almost like you've got your. I see him quite as a defensive prop into how strong he is in defence in the middle. And Aledzki is the one that is going to make those meters.
Well, sorry to say this, but stats don't always tell full.
No. We've always said that. I have to be nice because he produces it, so I've got to be nice.
That's not what Tom Holroyd's about, is it?
No.
He might not make loads of meters, but he might go in, win the collision, get up and play the ball quick. Yeah. But his defence is. You can see when one of their big guys has got the ball, he
goes hunting.
Yeah. So I think if we can keep them 2 fit, I think all the talk about being
treble winners is accurate.
I think all the talk about being light in the forwards will be okay. We've got Lissoni out at the moment, so he's back.
I did ask Tom Amoni last night when he was walking in front of me if he'd sign for Leeds next season.
Yeah, he's a good player, isn't he? And
he did smile. I don't think that was a yes, but I did ask him.
I've taken that as a yes.
Yeah.
3-year deal from 20
after last night.
Stats?
Yeah.
Statman Reece?
So I'm going to have to put a caveat on this.
What's he about to say?
Super League Match Centre just isn't adding up their own data.
It's another rant
properly. Let's take Ash Hanley, for example. I've got the correct stats for his week on week on his scores. So from their stats from week on week, but then their numbers don't add up to their actual total meters for Ash Hanley, and the numbers are also changing from when you do it. So these numbers might have changed by the time that you may look at it in a Super League Match Centre. But this is when I did it this morning, which was Saturday morning.
Reece, always choose the highest numbers.
Well, those
are the accurate ones.
Would
anybody actually say
errors?
Apart from errors. Would anybody actually say, excuse me?
So let's start on that thought. Let's start straight with that, because the sad news is our 87% completion rate run is over. We didn't get 87% this time.
We got 89.
We got 99%.
99,
which
it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense because we completed 33 sets. So if we didn't complete one set, 33 divided by 34 is 97%. And if we completed every single set, that's 100%.
Yeah.
So I don't understand the math here. So that might come out later, but we're going to take the credit. We'll take the higher number. As things stand, the completion rate was 99%. I can't remember us not completing one, but
we completed. I can't remember not completing one, but what do the class as a completed set? Is it just getting to the fifth? What is it?
I think it's doing the full set of tackles, isn't it? So even if you kick it on fifth, that's still the completed set of tackles.
And if you get tackled on fifth,
yeah, that's a completed set because you've gone through all 6 tackles.
I honestly can't remember us not doing that. So
yeah.
Either way, it's going to be high.
But it should be 100% then, shouldn't it? Not 99%.
Not 99. What's knocked 1% off?
I have no idea. Like half a set? I have no idea.
Unless it's 89% and they've made a typo.
That is very possible.
But we won't say that.
No,
it's not 99%.
We'll say
as I'm still recording this on a Saturday evening, it was still at 99%.
99%.
Just on that, that's massive for us. Last year, we were the completed sets were crap.
Yep.
Because
we're awful.
We've got a pair of halfbacks that actually want to play.
Yeah.
And complement one another.
So on that, 33 completed sets was the most we've had so far this season, which sort of matches up to what you said there.
99%.
Prior to last night, we were averaging 1,034 metres per game in the first 3 games. Friday night, 1,419 metres. So we've gone 400 over the average from the first 3 games in terms of metres.
Bloody hell.
628 post-contact metres was the highest of the season so far. So I'd be really interested to see what the difference between the first half and the second half, because we must have made a lot of these numbers up in the second half. And for the second week in a row, we only had 13 plays in their opposition, in the opposition 20 metres.
Yeah.
Which, again, shows our prowess from deep, but we're not almost getting into those areas, but at the moment we're winning games. I think that getting into the 20-metre area and having more plays in there will come in time. But again, when we're striking from deep still from the moment. 12 penalties conceded, which actually...
What were last week?
11. Oh, it was much lower last week. I can't remember. I'll have to have a look. But 12 penalties was our highest of the season so far.
Most of those were in first half. They were shocking.
Yeah. And I don't think they count 6 against towards penalties, because I think Leigh only had 5. I'm like, well, they had at least 5, 6 against plus 2 penalties. Yeah. Chris Kendall's arm must have been knackered on Friday night.
He had a good game, to be fair.
And we were averaging 12 errors per game before Friday night, and on Friday night we only had 5. So the errors came right down.
There's errors that you can cope with, I think. If you're playing expansive,
absolutely,
you're going to make some errors, aren't you?
You're going to,
and it's what you do with that, but it's the silly errors that are annoying.
That drive you nuts,
yeah.
I agree.
And then on to the players. So we had 5 players over 100 metres, which makes sense.
5 players?
Yeah. So that makes sense because obviously the most metres we've made. So, do you want to take a guess who's number 1 again?
Ash.
Yeah.
185.
You've looked at the stats, and you've read my,
read my tweet.
He doesn't read my tweets. He just retweets them.
I like to get it from the horse's mouth on the day of the pod and be surprised.
Anyway, Aledzki, 133.
Wow, on return.
Yep.
It's like he's just not been away.
Yep.
This is proper 2022.
Yeah.
Michaletsky already, this. Carry on, sorry.
Croft, 114, Miller, 110, Martin, 109. So that's the first time that Croft, Miller and Martin have all made over 100 metres so far this year. And then I'm going to talk about...
Have we ever had 5 players?
Yes, yeah.
We have when?
Not this season, but last year, previous years, we've had games where we've had like 5 people over 100.
That really seemed to stand out.
Alford specs over 100 sideways.
Yeah, so did Liam Tyndall, to be fair.
Tyndall used to drive him nuts.
Crabbing across the pitch, yeah. In terms of carries, prior to, again, Friday night, we only had 1 player that made more than 20 carries. We had 4 on Friday night. So the work rate went up again. Hanley, 25, Miller, 23, Croft, 20, and then Aledzki just short of 18. But all 4 of them was a new highest individual for the season so far.
Just a second half.
And then some big shifts in the tackle numbers as well. And we've got a new name at the top of the tackle chart.
Martin.
Nope. He's in the top 5.
Andy
He's in the top
Ackers?
5.
Nope.
No, Mick.
Nope. He's in the top 5 as well.
Jared
O'Connor.
Oh my God.
Now, I don't know what his minutes were. It must have been around 40, 50, I reckon.
He played quite a lot, I think.
Yeah, he did. He must.
But
Did he come on when?
He came on for
Who he
Cammy.
got?
Cammy came off about
Oh,
20
Nick for
minutes.
Cammy, didn't he?
And then Cammy came back on, and then Ackers went off and he came off on for Ackers. But anyway, O'Connor, 52 tackles. Cam, 47. Ackers, 46. Martin, 40. And Aledski, 36.
Jared's topped the chart off the bench.
Yep. Which shows the work rate.
Unbelievable.
But that's what Jared brings now, isn't it? It's that his role will be to bring that impact in the energy in defence. I think he played really well as well.
Rock hard, yeah.
And then in the Catalan game last week, we had Harry Newman made 14 tackle busts, which actually made him the top tackle buster in the club. Lachie Miller's having none of that. He got 10 on Friday night against Leigh, which now means he's got the most tackle busts in the club. And that makes sense for Lachie. You can really see his sevens footwork and his sevens game coming. I think on a dry pitch, it's going to be lethal. But he is
love him,
he's
mate.
bonkers, isn't he? He's absolutely bonkers.
amazing.
Talk about running sideways. Like, he does more ceremonies than
mind
any
that.
player. But
He doesn't get tackled, though, does
no,
he?
he doesn't. He just skips across everyone and just. I reckon if we just let him do that for about 10 minutes on one tackle, eventually he'll find a gap and he'll go.
Honestly, I thought he might be like this, but he's my favourite player to watch.
He's just
without a doubt.
bonkers. So chaotic, isn't it?
But did you see that pass?
Yeah, it was
falling
falling
ball.
over.
Falling,
He was
cut out
falling
2
over.
men.
But that's sevens, isn't it?
I'm about to say, that is a sevens ball. There's no way not an
I just-
ordinary quote unquote league player.
I can imagine some fans will be annoyed with him because, like, you don't know what he's going to do.
That's the appeal, surely.
It's exciting, isn't it?
That's the
From
appeal.
a fullback, but he's got the skills to back it up. That's the difference.
Absolutely.
The one thing I have been impressed with is his safety under the high ball.
Yeah.
And actually, his defensive reading's quite good.
Yeah. Because there were some concerns, weren't there, from some people about his
Yeah,
defence.
but if you watch him, he's marshalling the defence at the back really, really good. And he's more often than not in the right place.
Yeah,
but I just love him. He's bonkers.
I
I
do.
think it probably helps that we've met him and he's such a nice guy.
And he is bonkers.
He is bonkers. Yeah, he was bonkers as well.
Yeah, I think he's brilliant. It's entertaining, isn't it?
So then when it comes to my stats player of the match, it was quite difficult this week because there's so many people that stood out.
How many players of the match are we going to have on this thing?
Well, who cares? Just an opportunity for me to just name drop whoever we met in the media day, innit? But I had to choose between 4 players. 3 of those were Cam, Martin and O'Connor, and I'm just going to explain why for a second. So Cam Smith, 47 tackles, 2 missed, 3 tackle busts, 99 metres off 13 carries. That's, a massive shift. Reece Martin, 40 tackles, 1 miss, 4 tackle busts, 109 metres off 10 carries, so 10.9 metres per carry, 2
Absolute
clean breaks.
beast
So
mode.
that's a huge shift from Reece Martin. And then Jared O'Connor as well, considering how long he was on the pitch. 52 tackles, 4 missed, 2 tackle busts, 70 metres off 7 carries, so he did 10 metres per carry. So that 3 of those 3 standing out. But the one I ended up choosing is someone I've chosen before this season. It's Aledski. On return from injury, 36 tackles, 0 missed tackles, 1 tackle bust, 18 carries, 133 metres, which was 7.4 metres per carry.
Just absolutely unbelievable. And a bit of a mullet.
I've
Do you notice that?
Yeah.
Kind of got it cut at the sides, and hopefully
Yeah.
grows that out. Because
It's
we have
funny
been
that
saying
when players start growing a mullet, they just become legends, don't they?
it's just not a coincidence that the form just skyrockets.
Yeah.
Because we're kind of saying, well, I've been saying for a long time how beautiful he is, and he's like carved by the Greek gods. But imagine him with the longer hair.
So you've got him like the Greek god, and then you've got Momorowski, haven't you? Yeah.
Momorowski's
He's more like a model.
It's his,
Yeah,
it's his
more
dream, that's his
model-
dream day, that
Yeah,
having
I
Aledski
agree.
on one side and Momorowski on the other.
Danny Maguire in there somewhere as well,
Turning into a different kind of podcast.
as always. But this, did you have your concerns, Chris, when Aledski was starting with his injury and things? Did you feel it was a game to bring him back? Because we kind of said in the midweek roundup, don't know if you agreed, but I said I'd have saved him for Saints. Clearly that was wrong.
I think you've got to go with the player. They'll know, won't they?
Yeah. Did any of
It's-
us expect this?
Rowan doesn't seem the type of coach to put them on if they're not.
No, I don't think he would. No.
You know, he's overcautious, isn't he?
Yeah.
He must have been right. I think he were probably nearer last week.
Yeah.
Than we thought.
You were definitely right.
We've saved him off that and then put him in at Leigh.
Yeah. And I think last night were a really important win, actually. Because we'd have been going into Saints 2 out of 4.
And going win-loss, win-loss.
Yeah, and now we're 3 out of 4. It's a big difference. And I think the way we've won it is massive anyway, because
confidence off the back
it's confidence,
of
isn't it?
Yep. It's momentum. Momentum in rugby league is a scary thing. Like 2022, when we got to the grand final, it was momentum that was driving us all the way there. And the team that picks up that momentum early, you know,
and I'm not even bothered about an 80-minute performance at this stage. It's just for the last few years we've won one, lost one, won one, lost one. This front end of the season, I think results are more important than performance.
I agree.
Because we don't want to be at the bottom, do we?
No.
So if we can win with a 40-minute performance, I don't care. Well, especially if it's as good to watch as
good
that.
as it was last night.
God, it were good in that away end as well.
People, I think fans are just going to have to get used to we're not going to do things normally.
And I like that.
I
yeah.
love that.
I'm all on board for that.
I don't want to play percentage rugby. No. They're not going to do it.
It's just not. It's not the style, is it?
No.
It's not the style at all. And look, the first 40 minutes was hard to watch. And I'm there sat in the stand going,
we don't have to talk about it.
I've paid 27 quid for this. I've driven over an hour. I'm like,
I don't think we were getting stuffed though. It's just they'd played them shift plays really well.
Yeah.
And sometimes.
But my point was that it was absolutely worth the money for the half an hour that I saw with the away end going bonkers in the background. All the stewards are getting like, because they were banging all the iron, all the corrugated iron or whatever behind and stuff, and they were trying to stop them. I was like, you're not going to stop them. We've just come back from 16-0 down, scoring try after try in half an hour.
Yeah.
And the away end was class, actually. You know, I think we've been a bit poor sometimes with away attendance, but if you're ever 50-50, just go.
It's great. It's great. I love
fun.
Away games.
Yeah.
I didn't go on Friday. It was a last minute decision, but
you meet people there. Tends to be the same people that go. If you ever go on your own, come in the WhatsApp community and just drop a message. I went on my own on Friday, dropped a message, and I ended up meeting someone. There's always someone that will let you join their group. But the away days are great fun.
They seem a bit special especially with stuff like that.
Yeah,
with a comeback like that. Yeah,
they are quite special, really, because you've done them in their own backyard, haven't you?
Yeah. Come back from 16.
Obviously, it's led to some hilarious stuff on X.
Yes, it's something we'll come on later. Matt Frawley, lovely try.
That was the slowest try I've ever. Honestly, I was slightly to the left of the post, and he made the dummy, and it felt like an eternity. Not only did a dummy feel like an eternity, but his run to the try line felt like an absolute eternity.
I felt like that. It was like that. That's not going to happen, is it?
No, someone stop him.
It was played in slow motion.
That's not as good. What?
Oh, it's bloody scored. Yeah.
I mean, it was a class piece of play.
It was an intelligent bit of play.
It was,
to
because
spot Hardacre.
He used the ref. I don't know whether you've spotted that.
I noticed that, yeah. Kendall's got
I
out the
think
way.
he saw the ref and thought, I'm heading towards him.
Yeah.
But I think also as well, that left edge is really, really dangerous. And immediately the Leigh defence is shifting, because previously to that, Frawley was just passing. He wasn't really taking on the line. That was one of the first times he took on the line. And it was just that decision. He's seen them, whether he's seen this or not, but it was almost like they were shifting across to that left edge, and he went,
that's
hang
why
on a minute,
we're intelligent.
Dummy, and he went for under the posts. And like I said, he did use the referee a bit.
He'll do that on more than he'll do that again this year.
He's just got to pick and choose when he does it, and he did that.
I just expect him to drop it off, but he'll step and
he'll
be under post on more than one occasion this year.
Watching it on TV, just like that, I'm like,
oh, bloody hell, he's scored.
I watched it back today.
What was going to stop
I watched
him?
it back this morning and went, it did look as slow on TV as it was live, because it was slow, but it completely sold it, whoever the defender was. Also bought it, whoever the defender was. Absolutely bought it.
What I like about Frawley is we've had Caesar for 2 years, haven't we? Yeah. Who drift in and out of games. Frawley is getting his hands on the ball at the right time.
All the time.
Now, it's not just down to him, is it?
No, and he's not always going to do something with it either. And I think that's what you got to realise with Frawley. He might just sometimes you could be seeing a bit as a pass merchant. His kicking was a bit off at the start, but then he does put some great kicks in as well. He will still offer more than Caesar did,
because he'll get the ball. He'll want the ball. That's what he was signed for. You're not. very rarely do you get two really flashy 6s and 7s, do you? They've got to complement each other.
No.
Of course they do. A combination.
So I've been quite impressed with him. He's a good defender as well.
Yeah.
Because he's a big halfback.
Yeah, he is. He's really tall.
But that was a good try at the right time.
Yeah. Perfect play.
Intelligent play.
Yeah. And, it was slow, it was nice. We saw it all in slow motion.
You could nip off and make a cup if you're at home, or nip to in bar if you were.
Well, he made the dummy and I stood up celebrating, but then I was still celebrating for another good 5 minutes because he was still on his way to try.
Yes.
Oh, he's not scored yet.
Yes.
Was O'Brien off then?
Yeah,
He'd
it
been
was just at
binned
the
at that
end of the
point.
sin bin, I think.
Because Hardacre had dropped in at full-back.
But he was shifted too far. He'd already shifted
He'd
across.
already gone with the ball, hadn't he?
Yeah.
And then he dummied it and then
I think
scuttled through.
O'Brien made a totally wrong decision there.
Yeah, he did.
He did it on purpose.
Absolutely.
And he rightly
the
sin-binned.
flop on.
And and Kendall got him from it.
That's been a yellow card for the last 2 years.
He
Last
knew
year
what
at
he'd
least.
done. But did we score 2 while they were off?
We definitely scored 1.
I don't think we did.
Did we not? I mean, we'd have scored that play anyway, so maybe he did do the right thing, but...
Yeah. Yep.
On to, Reece Martin. Great try. Kind of hopped along on one foot to finish it with how strong he is. Great reach out to finish there. We've kind of touched on him, but my concern is something that I mentioned in the WhatsApp community. He is off contract. What do you think? Everyone listening to this, us in this room, everyone watching, wants us to re-sign him. Producer Chris, what do you think the chances are that we do re-sign him?
Re-sign him?
Re-sign him.
I want to re-sign him,
Yeah.
but if he wants to go home, he's earned that right to do what he wants.
Leave on the treble. It's the perfect way to go.
I just think he's been such a good player for us.
Been lovely,
It's whatever he thinks is best for his family.
Because he does have a young family now.
I won't be pissed off at it.
No.
But I think another 2 years.
How big a deal would that be if the club managed to keep someone of Reece Martin's calibre?
It's just that consistency, isn't it?
It's unbelievable.
One, it's his kicking ability off the tee.
It'd be such an enormous loss if
and
we
you're
lose
seeing
him.
the problems that teams are having at the moment with kicking.
It's absolutely shocking.
And that it's such a massive part of our team that he's going to score 85-90% of the time.
34 to 6.
Just as genuinely as just an out and out good second row and a great player, someone that consistently is a 7 out of 10, but like the bare minimum 7 out of 10.
I think players love him as well, don't they?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, goal kicking. I'd like to keep him until Jack's been brought through.
Yeah. But I think Chris is right. He's earned the right to decide what's best for him. I mean, anyone can decide what's right for them. But I think in terms of a fan perspective, if he did decide to go, he would go my best wishes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think anyone can begrudge him.
No one would.
I think
surely.
He's 30. What is he? 31, 32 now.
Yeah.
I don't know what the visa situation is like. So he's got to make a decision of where he wants to be. For rugby league is not a salary you can earn for the rest of your life. You've got to think about the next phase.
Is the Papua New Guinean side coming in next year?
In the NRL?
Don't think so.
No, not that I'm aware of.
Because I think he'd go play for them, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He'd get an NRL deal.
I think we'll just see. I think we'll just see. I don't think there'll be a. I don't think it'll be a quick announcement. I think they'll just let's see how it sort of goes. And I think Rowan and Gary don't like re-signing in early on. I've heard him say it a few times.
There's also no pressure to. You've got McDonnell, Gannon. Hopefully, if they get things sorted.
I think there's pressure to.
And Bentley. I think there's a degree of pressure, but also in the
not immediate.
I think it's usually younger players that want to get signed up.
Yeah, and Austin. There's depth. There is depth. There is depth in that second row. And don't get me wrong, I think Reece Martin is still the best of the four and will be the best of the four next year and probably the year after. But I still think we've got quality coming through as well.
Something that gives me hope as well is the previous deal Martin signed with us was quite late.
Yeah,
it may have even been last minute.
Yeah, I don't think they'll go early. I mean, he probably won't want to.
Needs to keep the options.
Yeah, so I don't think there's any rush. And like I say, I'm sure I've heard Rowan say that he doesn't like signing contracts.
Well, we know that because all these big signings are done after October, weren't they? Wigan were getting all theirs done earlier, then we were thinking what the hell's going on, and then we did all ours after.
Didn't do bad though, did they?
No. Not bad. On to Brodie Croft. How do you think Brodie played last night, Chris?
He was a bit off at first half, especially defensively. He made some bad reads, but we're not talking about that.
Yeah, we don't talk about first half. Second half, Rhinos.
Second half, he's just class, isn't he?
Absolutely.
It's just pure class.
Yeah.
My favourite bit is the last try because the ball comes to him from left to right.
Play the ball, yeah.
And he goes, no, we've got an overlap on the left.
You've come the wrong way.
You can see him look up, right, make the passing decision, and obviously then we score that try, but he follows the ball as well, like a good half-back does.
I really wanted him to score that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I know, I could see Hanley, and I'm like,
I wanted
he needs to hit his target, he needs some more tries.
That's true.
I just think his first try will be quite special, but maybe he's better doing it on Friday.
He'll get an hat-trick on Friday.
He's just... I thought it might take a bit longer to bed in.
Yeah.
And obviously, we know that Salford fans are saying that he's not very happy being here. So I thought it might take a bit of time.
Yeah, he looked really miserable at the end of the game when the fans were singing Brodie, the Brodie Cross song to him. He looked really upset.
No, he's
absolutely gutted, isn't he? So he's going to be class. Since your mate, we've not had anyone that good at half-back since Danny Maguire. But he's a bit of a different type of player to Danny, isn't he? I think he's a...
Well, no one's like Danny, is there?
Well, no, but what I mean, he can sit back a bit and interject himself when he needs to. Yeah. But he can only do that because of Frawley. And
they just complement each other perfectly.
Getting it to people right, but every injection he made in that second half led to something.
Yeah, I was just thinking in my head then, like when Cam Smith last year was trying to do too much and he was almost kind of got lost. You haven't seen that with Croft, have you? Like if it's not on, he'll either just go take the contact or he'll just make the easy pass. But it's then the next phase.
He's thinking two steps ahead.
If it's not on, then so he's not. You don't get in this position where he's stuck on the ball. You're not sure what to do because he hasn't got the options. It's right. Okay, if it's not on, easy pass. Let's go to the next phase.
He doesn't rush things or regret things.
No,
it didn't happen on that first play. He's like, right, it didn't happen there, but then you just build off the back of that.
He's a classic,
and it comes back in
player.
again.
It almost doesn't try too much. He just I think like Chris mentioned, it's just. He strikes at the right time, and he finds that, and he'll wait for the right opportunity to do it.
I found the way that Brodie plays this year in this short time similar to Jerome Luai in the World Cup for Samoa, almost like the perfect time, interjects himself into the game at the right moment. Like Luai, there were times where he'd just drop it off and he'd be like always looking and searching for that gap, searching for what were next, and then bang, it were like.
But that's totally different to say what we've had before.
Absolutely,
because Austin would drift in and out of a game, but Brodie's doing it deliberately. Do you get what I mean? So if something's not on, he's working out what. Yeah. He's just a proper good halfback.
Which we hadn't had for...
it's just a joy to watch.
I'm loving it.
From that tactical side, keeping your eyes on him and seeing what he does without the ball and stuff, he's just... and he can attack both sides.
Yeah,
but obviously we're attacking down his left-hand side because
just set it straight back.
I bet
poor Newman's like sat on the other edge going,
"Why can't I be on this side?
Can I not get involved in this?
Or can I switch over?"
But part of me thinks it wouldn't work as well with Newman because then you've got two very electric players in Hanley and Newman. Like I think it works having your discipline and your disciplined player in Momorowski, and then your flair Hanley, and then on the other side you've got the flair in Newman and Fussy too.
Listen to the players we've got.
Harry has always been a bit better right hand centre.
Yeah,
because he's not like Momorowski who's looking to put his winger away. I mean, he can do, but it's his step off the. Yeah, and he's always been better from the right.
Yeah.
Just a word on Harry. I don't know whether you've got it down to talk about, but
Oh,
I'll wait then.
No, go for it. We might as well jump in there.
He's like a different character, isn't he? Although he did wind somebody up right at end.
Oh, I saw that with beauty. Yeah, but the thing is, though, he can do that now because he's playing well and he's in a side that's playing well, and that you earn the right to be arrogant and almost in a way. But what really impressed me, and we're kind of going back into last week when you're talking about it, but the behind the scenes from the Catalan game at half time. He was there. It was really calm, and he's there going, praising Middles. You do an absolutely awesome job. Keep it up. And then he goes to Holroyd later on and goes, "You're going to be massive for us in this half." Things like that. That I didn't realise that Harry had that leadership and maturity.
Have you seen this week's?
I have seen this week's,
and he does a bit more like that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I was worried at the beginning of the game because
he was throwing up, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I
don't know whether there's been some illness because James
McDonald went off illness, didn't he?
Similar.
And even on the behind the scenes, he didn't. Harry's usually laughing and joking, isn't he? He didn't, he still played well. It's just good to have that different type of threat. I think we're always going to attack. We'll score more down left.
Definitely.
But
when Fuss is back, it's a different...
Yeah.
Different,
and if
sides
start to over-defend on the left, then it opens it up for Harry.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have to... Frawley's going to have to start kicking it to the big Tongan on the wing.
Yeah.
When he does play, if he plays.
I know he's not everyone's favourite player, but he's doing all right, is Roberts. He's a young kid. He's making more meters week on week.
He did. Sorry, Harry. He made me shit myself when he batted that ball back up in the air, and I'm going, "Oh, Lewis, what you doing? What you doing?" But
caught it, didn't he?
On both of those players, Newman and Lewis, they made probably one of the best interventions of the game, which was right at the end, which was the perfect lead.
That was the time the second time I got my ass off the sofa.
Yeah,
and was like, yes, that's it.
That was probably really well, I probably cheered that more than anything when Newman got the half back, the offload came off, and Lewis Roberts absolutely read it perfectly and closed it down. That could have easily been a try. Easily,
I bet the away end was similar.
Yeah, but if Lewis doesn't get that right, it's almost like a 3-on-1.
Yeah.
So yeah, take the rough of this move. He's a 21-year-old kid who's still learning and developing. He's been training as a centre in the pre-season. That's what Rowan was saying. He's had to go on the wing. Praise it when it's due, and I think Lewis, look, yes, he made some mistakes, but he also made some really key points.
And what's the alternative?
The alternative is go and look at loan market, which I'm not a big fan of. Keep swapping it out for somebody else every week.
Yeah.
Or Daryl Alfords.
Let's not go there, but
I did like there was like a second or two silence where
I didn't know what to say.
Chris is going to say, just shut up.
Just leave him in. He's a young kid. He's not letting anyone down. He's made a few errors. He doesn't make a ton of meters, although I think he did all right this week.
Hang on. 82.
So he's progressing every week.
And his confidence is going to grow the more Rowan.
Players are not going to get better unless they get
He's going to stay there till Fussy 2 is back.
Yeah,
and Fussy 2 won't be back until it's at least 10 degrees, if not 11. So, which the current temperatures is at least another
probably
month.
going to be mid-July.
I've seen clubs going to loan market. I'm not a big fan because what does that say to Lewis Roberts?
Exactly.
Oh, we'll go get this guy can't get picked at Warrington.
Yeah,
bring him in for
Stephen Ratchford.
he's their only player that can kick, and he's not playing.
I know, yeah.
Anyway, I have a rant about kickers.
Sangare, there is something that you want to
There's something
comment on.
I didn't. Someone mentioned it in the WhatsApp group, and then I watched the game back this morning.
He's absolutely brilliant.
On the 66th minute, if anyone's not watched it, just go back onto the game if you recorded it, or go on Sky. 66 minutes. We have the ball. I think Sanger must have taken a tackle the previous one in. And there's one marker. One marker's behind there, and Sangare stood behind the first marker, tapping him, going, "Go left, go left."
Go left.
And the ball. And we had tons of room out onto the right hand side from the defensive point of view. And Sangar's just there behind and go, "Go left, go left."
He's got a thick French accent. Yeah, League play must be like, "Have we signed?"
Well, the marker behind him did end up pushing him out of the way, but that was just good little shithousery that you don't always get now.
Allez.
But yeah, I thought. And the other bit as well was when they knew he was going to get sin binned, they were trying to get him off really quickly.
They ran him off, didn't they?
Yeah,
get him off.
Ref were like, get him back on here.
Get him off now.
Kendall makes him walk 70 metres across the pitch. I don't know why he does that. I really know if he does that.
I had no issue with that sin bin.
I was going to say that's on here.
We'd done it like 4 times in a row.
Well, there was Jared had done 2, Ackers had done 1, and then you had the Croft one. I know they were all penalties and rightly penalties, but it was and if you want to watch the game back again, Kendall does say anymore, and I'm going to have to take further action. So we even got a warning.
Yeah,
so
it were definitely
it
were definitely a sin bin. But I did like how he went running off and Rome was like, just sub him for who? Anyone, just get him off. Just get him off. Get Alfords on, anyone. Just get him off. He's not going to get a ban for that.
It's a lottery, isn't it?
In theory, if there's not been a yellow card, then there shouldn't be. Oh, obviously that was a yellow card.
But they did say it's only a penalty. It's because it's repeat offending.
Have you seen how big Tom Amoni is? Like, it's a split-second decision. You can't pull out of that. And if Tom Amoni's running at you, you're not going to just stop, are you?
No.
It's a split-second thing.
It's
It's all right.
Tom Amoni's running at me. I'm running the other way.
I'm stepping, looking and diving. It's just the whole Lissoni thing, because we all sat here and said Lissoni won't be back.
But there's been the change and stuff. I'd be surprised if there was one.
But the only one that I think might is Ackers.
The Ackers,
it does ride up off his shoulder.
But if anything, it's a grade B, a little match fine, and that's it.
Yeah, I can't see anything being, because I don't think any of them have got any previous, have they?
I'm not even sure if that's actually a thing or not. We've been saying it, but
no, it is, because
is it actually a thing?
Lissoni got more than Donaldson, same grade, because of his
because of previous.
I can't see if they are, but
yeah,
we'll see, won't we?
We'll find out. Player ratings.
Now I've got one more positive that I wanted to talk about first. Rowan Smith's half-time talk.
Oh, yes.
So behind the scenes came out today, and last year I constantly said I wanted to see the half-time things when we were losing, because I wanted to see what Rowan was like, and I think I've always wanted him to deliver an angry message or berate them, because that's probably how I felt at the time, and I wanted to see it. But I actually, when I watched his half-time talk, I thought it was brilliant. It was really calm. Don't worry about the scoreline. It's about how we play. If we play like we can do, then the scoreline will sort itself out. It was just such a calm thing, and it's such a calm process. And it was a bit like Jesse Marsh, wasn't it? Jesse Marsh would always shout, stay calm, like that is inciting stress, sort of thing. I think just being that level-headed, coming back in and saying, we're not playing our best rugby. You need to run harder. You need to win that contact. You do that, the score will sort itself. I don't worry about the scoreboard.
That Roland Smith halftime team talk was exactly as I imagined it.
Wrong kids don't always work. In fact, they very rarely do.
No, and that's kind of why when I've watched it, I've gone, you know what, I can understand. But that's why I've always wanted to see it, because I wanted to see what he was like.
I think that might be why they're doing it.
That's why they've done it.
Just like a bit of PR, really, to see the workings behind it. And
well, they've put that tagline on Twitter, haven't they? Where they've done the full-time thing saying, do you want to see what he said at half-time?
But that's, I know we're big Rowan fans anyway, but that's what I like about him, because he said at the end as well, if you watched it, he said it was quiet in half-time, and he said, that's fine. No point talking.
You don't need to see words. Don't need to say words.
It's empowering your players as well. Because what is the point? They've known.
They know what they've done from that first half. Yeah, they know they've been absolutely
what are you going to do?
Well, that's what he was saying. Like, look, it's the first half's done. Now, get in your groupings. Talk about how you're going to work in the second half, but he made the simple direction of run harder and win the contact.
It's cut down a bit, so he might have got a bit more animated.
I think, I did get the feeling there were a couple of
there's a few F words that are always cut out, but he's not one to. It always reminds me of, I think it was the 2007 grand final against Saints. Mm-hmm. Saints played terrible in that first half. They don't do it anymore, do they? But it cut to dressing room at half time, and Daniel Anderson was proper giving him a spray, throwing stuff about. Yeah. They came out and got absolutely battered.
Yeah, we did.
He's just not that type of coach. It's always going to be a bit more. Have you noticed the breathing thing that they're doing?
Yeah, it was after. I noticed it after the third try. They're all in a circle and breathing in and out together.
Well, Ash said something in the Sky interview. He's like, was it Ash or somebody said something about them breathing and being in the moment?
Yeah.
So don't worry about what's just gone. Worry about what you've got to do now. And that's kind of what he said at half time, wasn't it? Yeah.
Score will sort itself out.
16-0, I'm not bothered about that. That's what he said.
He says it's 3 tries, didn't it?
It's 3 tries. We'll get that in 10 minutes.
Don't worry about it. And that's putting confidence. And it obviously worked, didn't it? They knew what they needed to do. Yeah.
And I think the fact the way he spoke to them in that manner, it just put in belief and trust in them. It's like he was saying, you know what to do. I don't have to tell you. You need to go get the scoreboard right. Trust each other.
They were really interesting.
The confidence was sky
carry on with that.
Yeah, no, it's something I really want to see.
I'd like to, like Reece has been batting this and saying this for a while. I'd like to see a bit more when we lose. Don't have to be.
I think they're going to do it out there.
Don't have to be much, but just give us something.
We had it for
KR,
but they didn't really do the behind, the half time and full time. But that's exactly what I've wanted to see, and obviously it was a good game to do it because
kudos to the club as
came
well
back and won.
for listening to fans' requests. Player ratings.
Yep. So we are asking for everyone's player ratings. Just as a reminder, each week we then decide or use those ratings to help us decide who our player of the match was, the Fast Signs player of the match, and we're also collating them over the season as well. So, as always, gentlemen, I will say the numbers and you can say
react as we
go along. Yep. So Lucky Miller 6.9.
Way too low. What is wrong with you all?
I'm talking. The thing is, though, it's open to non-Leeds fans as well. That's what I think.
Someone did put him, gave him a 10. Was that you?
I hadn't done them.
Oh, have you not done them?
9.5. I don't want to influence it.
Oh, I'd have said slightly lower. Okay. 8.8.
I'm giving him more to compensate.
Sorry, what did he get?
6.9.
Never.
That is absolute.
Sorry, guys.
I think that's worst score of the year.
That's his joint highest. He got same in round 1.
But this was his best game.
Yeah. Just look. Right, I've got about 16 other players to go through here. We don't even know how long we've been recording for because Chris is not shouting at our rate saying.
And I forgot to put a stopwatch on.
I don't even know whether it is recording yet.
We'll find out.
Lewis Roberts 5.7.
I think he was better than that.
Newman 6.5.
That's way too low.
Momorovsky 6.1.
That's way too low.
They're judging it on first half, probably, aren't they, as well? I'm forgetting about it.
Well,
first half led to second half.
We haven't reviewed.
Yeah.
We haven't reviewed first half.
Ash Hanley 8.3.
Too low.
This is an average. It's an average of about 150 people. Is this?
You guys need to give these. We just won.
Brody 7.2.
Low.
No way.
Frawley 6.9.
No, I'm not having it.
Aletsky 8.0.
No chance.
Bit higher.
Akers 6.9.
No.
Gudemon 6.2. McDonald 5.7. I think because he obviously went off. Reece Martin 8.5.
Too low.
It's an average. Cam 6.9.
Too low.
Holroyd 6.4.
Too low.
Jared 6.9. Sanger 6.0. Ruin 6.0. And Rowan Smith 6.8. But what I will say about these player ratings is for the first time.
You just say they're all wrong.
They're all wrong.
For the first time, Ash Hanley hasn't got the highest score.
It was Reece.
It was Reece Martin for the first time. And each week, Ash Hanley's got the highest score. We've not given player of the match to Ash Hanley. And I've got a feeling we're not going to give him. We're not going to give him it this week either. But I will say at the moment, I will give a sneaky viewing in terms of like the averages so far. Ash Hanley is a clear 1 point ahead of any other player at the moment in the average ratings so far this season, which doesn't surprise me. So he's probably going to get the award at the end of the year without winning one player of the match from us. But I'll go straight into my nomination.
Go for it. What was your Fast Signs?
It's Reece Martin.
Fast Signs player of the match, Reece Martin.
Yeah, my other nominations could have been Aletsky because I thought he was brilliant. But Martin was just brilliant. You know, a try. Involved in setting up two of them was just
beautiful kick through one of the
just elite in that 30-minute period in that second half. Only missed one of his kicks. That
were Ash's fault.
It was Ash's fault. So I think it's a clear. I don't think it's even a contest.
New 4-year deal for Martin. I say, producer Chris, man of the match, player of the match, Fast Signs player of the match.
Can I go for it? Rather than be technical about it, can I just go for it from a pure what I enjoyed watching?
Yeah, why not? It's your
Lucky
Miller.
Just love it. Bonkers. I'm not saying he was the best player on the pitch.
Just loved it.
He was my
player of the match.
Yeah. Loved it.
I've got the deciding vote.
Yeah, you always do.
Unless I say someone different.
No, but you're the host, so you get to choose anyway. So really,
I was gonna say Mick.
Oh, for God's sake.
Just because the way he came back from injury, I think everyone had concern.
If we all disagree, don't they just all get a nomination?
I feel like if they all disagree, we have to go to the player ratings.
So who got the player ratings?
Reece Martin.
Reece Martin is the Fast Signs player of the match because I had to say Mick.
There you go.
I thought he was absolutely.
That's Reece's second, isn't it?
Yes. Anything else before we
move
wrap
on
this
to
one up?
Stick around for the next section.
Yeah, for Chris's conundrum. Anything else on this game?
Actually, yeah, one other thing.
The away end.
No, well, the away end was great. I mentioned that, but the beautiful just signing off this whole game. was Derek Beaumont spitting his dummy out on Twitter.
Yes, on X, yes.
Spelling overhaul with overalls.
Overalls.
Someone put a leopard print overall.
What are these overalls he wants?
Yeah, he wants a leopard print overall, did he? And he said he was going to like a council meeting on Wednesday. I'm like, is this a rugby league one or is this a Wigan one? Like,
no, he's going to counselling for his own mental health.
He needs some.
For his own mental health.
It's funny, isn't it, that you lost a 16-0 lead. Yeah, he just spat his dummy out, didn't he? And it was quite nice to see.
What was he talking about?
I don't know. I think he didn't even mention the referee, so I'm assuming it was a referee decisions.
Red wine.
I don't what
But,
it was utterly bizarre.
Yeah.
The problem is a lot of Leigh fans think it's great.
Yeah.
He's a stone cold pillar. He might be a nice guy if you meet him, and he does a lot of good charity work. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. And he has done a lot for Leigh as the club as well. Let's not there. But
it could end up. Yeah, he's done a lot for Leigh, but he threatened to pull. He keeps threatening to pull his money out.
Yeah.
He didn't pay players once.
Yeah.
He needs to lay off red wine, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
I just loved the tweet. I just thought it was brilliant. The spot is dummy out.
It
It just topped my night off. That I was like, beautiful.
I liked it for the overall thing.
Yeah, the overalls. Yes, but
overall, I liked it for the overalls.
You were like, what are you talking?
What is he on about?
You're not even actually mentioned anything. I'm not going to keep quiet now. What are you on about then?
About what?
He's never kept quiet, has he?
I'd be embarrassed if I were a Leigh fan.
Yeah.
The problem
just
on Leigh, the problem Leigh's got, because they're a good side, get some injuries.
Well, Lachlan Lamb looks really serious. Asiata's gone for 2-3 months, hasn't he?
I don't think it's as bad as people are saying, but their win-to-loss ratio since winning the Challenge Cup final is abysmal. I think they've probably only won about 3 games.
Right.
He needs to sort that out rather than worrying about
whatever it is.
I'll tell you what he does need. He needs a bloody start getting a stretcher because they made Lachlan Lamb walk halfway around the pitch, and he was like he could barely walk. I'm like,
that's an additional 2 week off.
But the thing is, the crap branding, the leopard skin everywhere, all that
you can't see the names on the back of the shirts.
Who's sanctioned that anyway? You don't put a black name.
I'm doing a U here. I'm just feeding it.
Feed him in.
It's all very well when you're winning, isn't it? They start languishing at bottom of the table and they're not guaranteed a Super League place. It's actually going to be glorious to watch, but
it's all right riding the highs, but it's managing the lows.
And I feel sorry for if that happens. Feel sorry for genuine Leigh fans.
Yeah, for the fans.
He'll pull the plug. He'll probably pull the plug off AB Sundex Cup or something. It's a pillock.
Agreed. Derek Beaumont's a pillock. Right, stick around.
Good. It was good.
Chris is still going. Right, stick around for Chris's conundrum, everyone. It's now time for Chris's thought experiment.
We're going to need some more, aren't we?
Yeah, I've run out of ChatGPT stuff, so I need to redo it.
It's sponsored by Nestle Breakaway Biscuits.
I feel like you need to go straight to your thought experiment now, Chris, to explain that.
Right, well, it's a very depressing thing, but they're actually taking Breakaway Biscuits off the market.
That is sad.
And how many packets have you got at home?
I have currently got 50 packets like that. They're also. Have you had a Yorkie biscuit?
Yeah,
they're going as well.
Yorkies.
Not Yorkie chocolate bar.
Oh, okay.
The biscuits. I'm not that. They're nice, but I'm not that bothered. Okay. They've been on sale for 50 years.
Yes.
And it's.
Have they said why they're taking these breakaways?
I think just to piss me off. I think I'm the only person that buys them.
He's still buying them.
Who's that one guy? You know, when they look at all the sales, they go, "Who's that one guy in where's still buying them?"
They're going to go out of date before I can eat them. But so yes, sadly, it's no more.
Breakaways are no more.
Unless it's a big PR stunt.
And you've just
I don't think they're that popular, and I don't think this podcast is going to bring it back either, Chris. I'm not going to lie. I don't think this is going to reach the highest echelons of Nestle.
Neither do I. This is why we're doing it, though, isn't it? So get them while you can. So my thought experiment.
If you can, because Chris has cleared the shelves.
If you can. Yeah.
I've been to Lidl, Aldi, Home Bargains. They didn't have any.
Really?
Yeah.
It just seems a real Home Bargains type biscuit.
Lidl have got their own. I don't know what it's called. Breakout or
Home and
something.
away.
Right, so the thought experiment question. What thing from rugby league has been removed or is not around anymore that you wish still was?
Something that's no
Good
longer...
segue, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, see how we came across... These things are produced, you know.
About 5 minutes before we start, my instinct was Bulls and the Bulls Leeds games, but then they're like, the Bulls are still here and we still play them now and then. So I don't think that's my best response. I've got one.
I think you're going to be able to hear it.
Yeah.
He's stuffing his gob in the break.
His face in the corner. But I'll let you go first.
Free play.
Free play.
Were you a fan of the free play?
Yeah, why did that get dropped?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
You can still play an advantage, can't you?
You can, but not if...
Not in the aspect of what the free play was.
So if you booted it down field, chased after it...
And got tackled.
Or they
scored.
I think even if they make a mistake, you've
you
used,
get it back.
I don't think you do. You've used the advantage now there, haven't you?
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant in the
free play.
In the free play.
Yeah, you got it back. I think what happened was teams were just oofing it downfield.
Yeah.
But it'd be perfect for us, wouldn't it, now?
Yeah. I used to love it. Every time we had free play, I used to say, kick it. Kick it.
Just let Ash taste it.
Yeah, we were shouting at South Stand, kick it, just kick it downfield to get tackled. So
I can't even remember when it went, but I didn't mind that.
I'm gonna say, put it there for the treble year, maybe before that. I remember Joel Moon being around.
I can't remember it going. I remember it, but I can't remember it going.
I'm going to say 2014 it ended.
I don't know. I can't. It was there and then it wasn't.
Yeah,
then it just
bit like breakaways.
No, they've been here for 15 years. For a while. And another one for me, switching ends at games, no behind the sticks.
This is for fans, to be clear.
The fans used to be able to...
Yeah, I used to do it with my dad all the time.
I used to really enjoy that.
Especially at Edinburgh, it were good.
I thought people even still did that in the South Stand to an extent, where you'd go down to that end, but I don't think people even do that now.
It's quite busy though, isn't it now? Well, I don't know because I don't stand there, but
it is busy. But you can still
Reece, you go into the ground about 2.5 hours before kick-off.
No, I don't.
You do. I almost kept my spot.
Well, no, you're referencing the fact that I missed the last 5 minutes of the Leeds United
you didn't miss anything.
Huddersfield game.
You didn't miss anything
because I didn't want to get because someone was stood in my spot, and guess what? Someone was stood in my spot.
So you should have stayed and finished the game.
No, because I wanted to get a better spot still. But I can't even remember. No, in the South, when I first used to go, it used to be busier in one half because people would switch between the sides of the South Stand pretending which side Leeds were playing towards.
You kind of walked to one end to the other.
Yeah, not everyone did, but you could definitely feel there was more people. But I don't think that happens anymore.
No.
And I think it might because it is busy now in the South Stand. At least it has been for the first 2 games this year. I imagine it'll be the same at Saints.
Yeah, it was good.
But I'm not sure how much I like watching it from behind sometimes. I think because I was at Leigh, I was in the first row, so I couldn't see anything past the halfway line, really. And I forgot my glasses again.
Who's that?
Did you remember your ticket this time?
It was an e-ticket, so it was all right. So yeah, that's something I don't miss. Paper tickets.
The Rhinos used to like a booklet, wasn't it?
Yeah. Now that was one of the things I was going to mention. Where you used to get a season ticket and you used to have to rip it out. Now that was quite cool. I like that. My thing was going to be the Tri-Nations, Great Britain Tri-Nations. I thought that was elite international rugby league.
It really was.
And
those
and I feel like we've just lost something that was such a good product.
Those early noughties ones.
Yeah, they were
the contest.
I know there were some that were Ashes, but the Tri-Nations.
Yeah.
Just international rugby league being decent. I do miss Great Britain.
I do. Whole concept.
I miss the jersey. The jerseys that early noughties kit. They were iconic.
I've got one. I didn't bring it down.
What, the Gillette?
The Gillette.
I've got one.
Big, the red blue
like
V's.
That is the best kit ever done.
The shirt that JP hit.
Yeah. No. That was a Puma one, wasn't it?
Wasn't it?
With blue sleeves. Nah. It's the
home series.
Yeah, they once did a drink driving test.
I feel like I'm back with Glenn again in that kit room.
Yeah, I've got one of them.
Part 2 is still available.
I think Great Britain, just in general, I understand why they did it. It was funding or something to do with Sport England.
Right.
And then they brought it back for that awful thing with Austin on the wing.
Yeah, it just wasn't done well. But
if we're talking about Great Britain, I know you're saying the Tri-Series. The Great Britain Lions logo, the rugby league one, is one of the most perfect logos ever designed.
Yeah, is this coming from an expert?
It's like, and I bet it's by accident. It won't have been planned, will it?
Probably not.
Someone just fell into that.
Yeah, and
someone just went.
You look at
there
it.
You go.
You look at it on a jersey, and you're like, yeah, Great Britain.
But
the Tri-Series were brilliant.
That was like elite international rugby league, and I just don't think we've even touched anywhere near that.
Like, was it Morley that got sent off after 4 seconons?
40 seconds, wasn't it?
Did he smash a Roosters teammate?
Kip Kearney.
I'm sure they played together, didn't they?
Don't be proper smacks.
It didn't really matter to Morley, did it? It didn't really matter to Morley.
It took him 6 seconds.
We nearly won that game.
Yeah, one game, yeah.
It was like the Sean Long. Was it the Sean Long game? With iconic games. I think was it when Longy scored that? Was it a drop goal? Was it
Longy?
Sean Long. He played. It was
Longy.
He was our assistant coach. I give everyone a nickname. I keep calling Momorowski Mom because it's.
I prefer Mommy.
Mommy.
Yeah, it sounds pretty weird.
Yeah, there were some belting games, weren't there?
Yeah.
And with that Great Britain shirt, they were special.
Yeah,
really special. I went to quite
a few. It felt like
a
test. It felt like an event, and the World Cup just doesn't feel as much for me. But you haven't got anything.
Really?
I don't think the World Cup.
Didn't you feel the last World Cup was awesome?
I enjoyed the World Cup.
I loved it. I went to loads of them. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't feel like
I'm not bothered about England winning it.
Oh, I'm not bothered about England winning it.
But Great Britain's.
But the actual World Cup.
But the Tri-Nations felt like it didn't feel like it was a test. It was a test game. It wasn't.
That's because it's
feels like
the Aussies.
There's a difference between an international game and a test game, and I can't quite explain why. But those games of in the noughties of Great Britain, New Zealand, Australia, they were fierce.
The gap
contests,
wasn't as big neither,
and the gap wasn't as big. Yeah, you're right.
So
it's astronomical now, right?
Yeah, the gap is massive now. It wasn't then. We were close with all the games.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Tri-Nations series. It was 2001. Was the last game I ever went with my dad at McAlpine.
Yeah, Huddersfield.
We won. Great Britain beat Aussies that day. But the whole thing, yeah, it's a good one. That missed that one.
Anything else you miss?
Yeah, kicking breakaways. Not yet. Kicking off sand.
Yes, I remember that.
And you saw Kevin Sinfield do that for England rugby, didn't you, in the training when he got up to some sand out and did it, and all the England players were like, "What?"
Kicking off sand.
Yeah.
Wet sponge, magic sponge,
bring it back.
Being able to headbutt the ball over your opponent player.
That'd be HIA now, wouldn't it? Though, if you headbutted the ball,
I can imagine Croft doing that.
Yeah.
No, imagine Miller.
He'd do it.
Miller just
and the guy Puig Albert, the French guy that used to smoke fags at back when he were a fullback.
That's the point.
Having a sick.
What was
bring that back?
You used to see like players wearing shoulder pads as well, didn't you? As well,
shoulder pads.
But then you had
that is so nostalgic to me.
Who was the guy that
massive
wore the
shoulder pads?
I used to have someone out.
Oh God,
the helmet. Is it Stephen Menzies? He had the scrum hat on, didn't he?
Well,
late 90s.
Theo Farge still and.
Yeah.
So they've still got it, but the shoulder pads, they didn't do anything.
They were huge, weren't they? And like, they were literally draped all the way down your shoulder.
When I was a kid playing it, I couldn't get them to fit, so I can remember cutting them down.
Cut them down on the...
Yeah. Because it were down there otherwise. But you went down and you were like...
Can hardly pass ball. That's incredibly nostalgic to me. That's a great... Shoulder pads. Bring back shoulder pads.
Bring back shoulder pads.
Bring back the biff.
Smoking when you're a fullback. Headbutting ball.
Fullbacks get a free pack of 10
free pack
of
Lambert and Butler.
Filterless woodbines. And Great Britain Tri-Nation tours.
And Great Britain. I think that wraps up the podcast.
Do you want a breakaway?
Yes, I'll have a breakaway to munch on more stuff.
£10 each.
Oh God, have it back. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for listening. Don't forget you can subscribe to us on YouTube at The Lot Pod. If Breakaway do want to send Chris any free breakaways, that's shout out to Breakaway. Send them over to us. Follow us on YouTube at The Lot Pod. We'll be back midweek for the midweek roundup. We'll see you all next time. Take care.